Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here it is. It is Tuesday, the 4th of August, right in the heart of the Arkansas Delta. Hey, good morning. How are you? What's going on this morning? Man, we got a cool morning this morning. I got outside a little earlier this morning, taking the scruff man outside, and I was like, whoa. Thank you, Jesus. You know, the humidity's down, the temperature's down. It was like in the high 60s this morning. I'm like, what's up with that? You know? But, hey, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something real quick. I can live with this. I can live with this no humidity. I can live with this mid-range temperature like nobody's business. Denise and Tabitha and I moved to northern Ohio in the summer of 2007. And we're Southern folks. I'm a Southern boy by heart. I was born and raised here in the deep South, and so all I'd ever known was 110 degrees in the shade plus heat index. And that's really all I ever known. And when we got to northern Ohio, even in the summers, you might have gotten mid 80s, and it was just good, just great. And then, sometime around September, the temperature started, decreasing, and all along, old Jim Bob's thinking, wow, I can really, I can really get by with this. And then, and like I said, this was in 07, and in December of 07, and I'm not exaggerating, in December of 07, I saw more snow in 31 days of December than I had ever seen in my entire life put together. It was ridiculous. I mean ridiculous. And I was saying out loud, God, are you sure you got me in the right place? Because it was absolutely insane the amount of snow that we got. And we learned over the years that snow would start. We could expect the first snow by October or by Halloween. It was coming. October, you could just tell there was a chill in the air, and you just knew that that snow was coming. And so we always expected snow by Halloween. There was always activities on campus that was going on, and you would expect that there would be snow on the ground for those things. And so you dressed accordingly. But I said all that to say this. Oh, and by the way, snow would last till probably Easter. It was nothing to have snow from Halloween to Easter. It was just crazy up there. But, you learn to enjoy those cool temperatures, like in the mid-70s, and that's your high. And then somewhere in the low 50s at night. It was just amazing. And so we just got, I don't want to say accustomed to that, but we got just used to it. And we just fell in love with those temperatures. And then we moved back. God called us back here home to the promised land in 2017. And, all of a sudden that heat and humidity smacks you right in the mouth, just like a 2x4. Hey, who all is in my office this morning? Let me see here. There's Miss Denny. Good morning, Miss Denny. I need to talk to you too, by the way. So just make sure, don't let me forget. Let me see here. There is my bride. She is on. Good morning, Niecy. There's Miss Annie Norman. She is pulled up into my office this morning. Let me see here. There's my brother Robert. He is here this morning. There is Mary Weddington. I see Miss Mary. Good morning, Miss Mary. Sarah DeVasier's hanging out in my office this morning. Good morning, Miss Sarah. Let me see here. Who else is up in here? Let me see here. Let me take a peek. Who else is here? That sweet Glory is hanging out with me. She's on the other side of that wall right there. She's trying to sneak in, just trying to hang out with me. Hey, when you get in, if I don't see you, go ahead and say howdy. There's some folks here that I don't have no clue who is here. Mary is away from the Wi-Fi. I live away from the Wi-Fi in this church. It is horrible up here. Gloria and I fuss at the Wi-Fi in this church every blessed day. Mary, you be safe, and we will talk later. Matter of fact, Mary, I need to talk to you. Call me today, okay? Give me a call. But anyway, back to my story. And so now here we are. We're 3 years in. Back, here in the heat, and I'm gonna tell you what, for an old, slow, fat man like me, man, this heat just drains me, and it just slows me down. And this summer I've had the smarts about me to where I'd work out in the yard for a little bit, and then I'd come back and just, take a break, and I'd do the same thing over and over again, and so it really hadn't been that bad. Now there's been a couple of instances where I just got a little bit on the stupid side, and stayed out there way too longer than I should. Good morning, Mr. Lester, Smyrna, Tennessee, the volunteer state. I am so thankful that you were here this morning. Thank you for hanging out with me, Lester. It's just a privilege to have you join us here for just a chance to grab a cup of coffee and chat this morning. Miss Judy Davis in the building. Good morning, sweet lady. Glad you were here. And so, here we are. We just get, you just get acclimated again to this doggone heat. And, for those folks that struggle breathing, with asthma or COPD or, anyone that's on oxygen, this heat just zaps you. And even for me, it just gets me. But this morning, it was just such a breath of fresh air. And I loved it. Now, granted, I think we're supposed to have, what is it? Somebody looked at the weather. Is it 2, 3, 4 days like that this week that we're supposed to have it? And so I'm very thankful that it's going to be that way. But then, granted, it's going to come back and it's going to get rather stupid again. Because after all, it is Arkansas, right? Hey, Josie, well, a hurricane made landfall last night on the East Coast, Ocean Isle, something, North Carolina. It come across in North Carolina, and then I read this morning already that they have had crazy tornado warnings out of that blessed thing already. So, 2020 is just bringing all kinds of good stuff, and just all kinds of good stuff. Good morning, Miss Mary Ellen. How are you doing, lady? You had your coffee this morning? If not, grab a cup and pull up a chair in my office. We're going to chit-chat for just a minute. I'm running behind on my coffee intake, and this is my first cup. And so if you see me never setting it down and just kind of hanging on to it, you're going to know why. My body's beginning to do this, and Jim Bob needs coffee. Woo, he needs coffee bad. Let's see here. What is going on today? I'm going to continue studying for Sunday school. We've got Zoom tonight, Zoom Sunday school, and I'm teaching tonight. So if you want to join me in the Zoom room tonight or right here on Facebook Live, I would love to have you hang out with me. Good morning, Miss Blanche. Miss Blanche from the Grand Metropolis of West Memphis, Arkansas. So glad you were here, Miss Blanche. Tell everybody hello from me in your house and everybody hello from me in the church. Love you folks over there. That is the precious pastor's wife from Calvary Baptist Church in West Memphis, Arkansas. That's Brother Gary's wife. So glad you pull up a chair. Grab a cup of coffee, Miss Blanche, and just chill out with us for a minute. Sunday school tonight, Brother Larry and Miss Pam landed in Spokane yesterday shortly after noon, our time. Shortly after 2 o'clock our time, which would have been about 12 o'clock there in Spokane. So they are there safe. Their flight arrived. They traded out in Salt Lake City and made it to Spokane. So they are there. And so because they're out on vacation, I told Brother Larry I would take care of the Zoom Sunday school class for him. So I'll be teaching tonight. And it's going to be the exact same lesson that Brother Larry covered on Sunday. So if you were here on Sunday and you do not want to hang out with me, that is good. That is no problem. I get it. But if you just want to come on back in and just sit and chill for a minute and visit and, offer some insight, I would love to have you. I would love to have you hang out with me. So that's going to be at 7 o'clock tonight in the Zoom room. And we'll be sending invitations out around 10 till 7. And if not, if you don't want to do that and you just want to catch us right here on Facebook, boom, boy, I'd love to have you. But we are talking about staying sober. And so it's and I don't mean this punny, but it's a sobering lesson, really, when you really get into this. And so we are in Proverbs, and it is some very deep insight from Solomon to his son. And so I really hope that you can join me tonight, and we'll just kind of hang out. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It is time for Wednesday Night Live, and we're going to be on campus. If you get a chance, come on out and join us here just north of Fort City. Where am I at? Fort City, just north of Fort City on Highway 1. We'd love to have you. And if not, then, hey, we're going to be right here live and loud on Facebook Live. So 6:30, online or on campus. It's Wednesday Night Live, and we are in Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5. I strongly want to encourage you to go ahead and read that chapter. Okay, we'll kind of give an overview of the first 4, and then we're going to pick up right where we left off back prior to the pandemic. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a little different format. So for those of you that are coming to campus, just let me go ahead and let me tell you what I'm thinking. Okay, I'd like to sit in the two center sections, okay? So if you kind of make your way in, I mean, if we can social distance, we'll stay in those two center sections. And then I'm going to actually be on stage. I'm going to have a table. I'll probably be at a chair, a stool, or something. And then I'm going to have another table, or maybe the pulpit pulled up beside me, because I'm going to have my laptop with me so that I can be able to communicate for those that are watching online and talking and asking questions, just like we have been doing on Wednesday Night Live, because we want our online family to not be excluded. We want them very much a part of our Bible study. And so, again, it's going to look a little strange, but just come on in and try to set the center sections and just get ready for a good time. That's tomorrow night. If you have prayer requests that you would like to share tomorrow night, please make sure you call the office and give those to Gloria today. Okay, make sure you do that. Praise reports, we want to hear it. And there's been some amazing stuff that's come through praise-wise, and so we want to make sure that we celebrate as well as pray for our folks. One real quick prayer request, I just want to throw this out at you, and that is some dear friends of ours from Ohio that was in our church in Ohio. They have 3 daughters, and their youngest one, I think Audrey, is 7, 8 years old. She's a little girl, a little bitty girl. And the husband is the police chief of one of the communities there, very close to World War. Anyway, she had been having some issues, and they ended up having to take her to a much larger hospital there in Ohio. And they found out that she has childhood epilepsy. And so they've got her medicated now. They're trying to get her regulated. And so the little girl's name is Audrey. So would you pray with me for Audrey, that God would just do a mighty work in her, and that He would use this for His glory? That's Audrey. So if you would just do that. Looking at the rest of the week, again, tomorrow night's live. Thursday morning, Miss Pat is going to be here, 10 o'clock. The Power of Purpose, that's so good. I really hope you can do that. And then, of course, I'll be here the rest of the week, hanging out with you in the mornings. We're having a cup of coffee, just chilling. We are in 2 Timothy. Today we're chapter 4. We're going to pick up at verse 6. Is it Thursday? Thursday or Friday? It's one of the two. We are going to be wrapping up 2 Timothy, and we're going to pick up the book of Titus. The book of Titus is where we're going next. And so that way we will have done 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, and Titus. That is the 3 the 3 pastoral epistles from Paul, the 3 letters he wrote to pastors. And we're just trying to get all of that covered all up at one time. Prayers for Brian Ponder, who'll be going to Vanderbilt for further testing on healing for his injury. Yes, very good. We want to pray for Brian. Brian's a regular with us here online, and we are so thankful for that. We want to pray for Brian and do that. Schools are starting back and getting ready to start back. There's still a lot of questions, so we want to pray for our students, our staff. Larry and Pam's daughter, Lindsay and Danny, the ones that live in Spokane, that's one they've come to visit for the next couple of weeks. Their daughter, Melena, her school sent out word yesterday that they are canceling all on-campus classes this year. And so, and I think for the year, maybe just for the semester, so don't quote me on that, but it is going to be long-term. So they are going specifically online with Melena. So this is the thing that looms, so we've got to be very, very careful with what's going on. And speaking of our school systems, August 23rd, that is a Sunday afternoon, we're looking at probably somewhere around that 3 o'clock hour. We're going to literally divide and conquer. We want to be able to hit every campus. We want somebody to represent our church at each of these campuses. And we're going to go and we're going to gather. We'll meet at the flagpoles of each campus, and we're going to gather for prayer that afternoon at 3 o'clock. And so if you can be a part of that, I just want to invite you. I want to invite you to invite your friends in our community. This is not just a Ridgewood thing. Okay, this is a community-wide event. We want as many people as we can get out that afternoon to gather at our schools and to pray for safety, for health, for prosperity, for our administration, our staff, our students. And so I'll be getting more information out. We'll have a prayer guide that's going to be out with that. But if you are connected to friends in other churches here in town and in our county, will you please help us get the word out? That's going to be August 23rd. Again, we're looking at somewhere around that 3 o'clock hour. But again, all the details will be forthcoming. So do that. Also, We are gathering school supplies for our elementary schools here. We have got a great full table out in our worship center right now that folks have been bringing. And so we want to encourage you that if you go out, that you would pick up a few things and bring it in. Our school supply list is available to you. What I need to do is snap a picture of that and post it. So I'll try to remember to do that here as soon as we get off. And that way you guys can see exactly what is needed. And if you could just pick up a couple packages of pencils, maybe a couple packages of paper. I'm talking, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, because when we all join in and we all pitch in, then we're able to really make a difference. And so if you would do that, drop that off here at the church campus. We'd appreciate that. Or if you would like for us to come pick it up, if you want to buy it, we'll come pick it up. We'll be glad to do that. Maybe you don't want to get out, but you want to be a part of this. You want to help and you want to contribute. You can send in your financial donations for school supplies right here to our church at P.O. Box 785 here in Forest City, 72336. And just mark on your check down on the memo school supplies. So we'll know we are receiving some really good donations already. And we are promising you we're going to take every penny of it and we're going to put it right back in our school systems. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that if we have items like these plastic pencil cases or something, that we have got a little encouraging note with our identity on it that identifies Ridgewood Baptist Church, so that we can make sure that we are out there and our name is out there, just to kind of encourage our folks that, hey, they want to, well, who is it that took care of us this year? Well, it was Ridgewood. Well, maybe they're going to want to come visit. So we'll do that. Sunday, hey, get ready for another great Sunday of worship. The praise team will be leading us. Miss Becky Lawson will be back playing piano with us. She has been gone. Her and David have been at one of their shows down on the Gulf Coast, and she'll be back. And then y'all, this Code Black series, woo, part two. That's this coming week. I'm not sure yet. God's not really smacked me with the title yet. I know what it's going to be about. I've got most of it laid out. But the title is just not clear, so hopefully we'll have that pretty soon. I think that's all I've got going on right now. Remember, Zoom tonight, 7, tomorrow night, Wednesday night live at 6:30. All right. Hey, you ready? 2 Timothy. That was good stuff yesterday. Judy Stotson's here. Good morning, Judy. How are you, lady? How are you? Miss Mary Weddington says she is back. Miss Mary, give me a call. Okay, a little bit later on. Give me a call. I got something I need to ask you. Real quick, please, ma'am. I need to ask you. Okay, verse 6, chapter 4, 2 Timothy. Remember, this is his final charge to Timothy. Okay, this is the last part of the letter. All right, here we go. He says, "For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give to me on that day, and not to me only, but also to all who have loved his appearing." Paul knows his time is coming. His days are numbered. And he knows that. I mean, he's aware of this. He is in prison when he's writing this letter to Timothy. And he's prepared. I mean, he knows it's coming, but he is prepared to meet the Lord at that time. And so can I just ask you this morning, if you're live with me right now, or if you're watching this on the rewind, if God were to call you home today, are you prepared? Are you prepared to stand before Jesus when that time comes? Have you got your heart ready? Have you given your life to Christ? Are you prepared? I think we all need to ask ourselves that question. And I think that's a question we need to ask our friends and our family. Are you prepared? Are you ready that if God calls you home, that you're locked in, you're locked and loaded? There's no worries. Paul knew that his time was come, and he's certain of his imminent death. He is content with what he has done this was a radical man against the church, against Christianity, until God got a hold of him on that Damascus road, and then he was a radical for Christianity, just as strong. Back several months ago on Wednesday night, we took a character study and we looked at Saul, and then the following week we looked at Paul. And so if you remember that, you understand what a man this was. I mean, he was all in. There was no pulling back on him. He was all in. And so he was content. He was confident. I love this. He was confident of the meeting with Christ. When that time comes, when he dies, he was confident of that reception time when he meets Christ. And don't you just love the use of athletics here? I have finished the race. I've fought the good fight. I've finished the race. I've kept the faith. Can you say today that you fought the good fight? You're fighting the good fight? Are you running the race? Are you at the point to where you can say that? The thing when you read these three passages of Scripture, and I know they're small, but they're so powerful. Paul, well, let's just look at this. He hints at the characteristics of the struggle that he's had. And let's just be honest with you. When he made that change, when God got a hold of him on that road to Damascus, or on the Damascus road, y'all, he struggled. And he struggled mightily. And he spent the bulk of the rest of his life in prison. He struggled. And so these three verses, it talks about his struggle. It talks about his endurance as to he's continuing to run. In other words, he never gave up. If you see runners out here in a race, you see folks, especially, and I love to watch the Summer Olympics, even if athletes cramp up or they can't continue or there's pain, the goal is to make it to the finish line even though there is pain. Let's see, Are You Ready by Jason Champion. Yes, thank you, Miss Annie, yes. And so, are you finishing the race even though there's struggles, even though there's pain, even though there's heartache, even though there is temptation, even though there is a desire to throw your hands up and say, I'm done? Can your life be earmarked by endurance and discipline? And discipline. Have you stayed the course? Have you stayed the course? And then finally, victory. Victory. And so all of that we find here in this very short window of Paul in this letter to Timothy. And he's encouraging this to Timothy as to, this is how I need you, Timothy, to get serious. I need these characteristics to denote your life as well. And it's the same to us today. And so I want to encourage us right now, for those of us that's watching, those of us that will catch us on rewind, does these characteristics define us? I mean, can people look into our life and see that? Something to think about on this cool Tuesday here in the Arkansas Delta. Folks, that's all I've got. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning in my office. I pray you have a fabulous Tuesday. Don't forget, hang out with me tonight in the Zoom room. We're right here live at 7 o'clock as we are going to be talking about staying sober. Back in Proverbs, hanging out with Solomon. Folks, I love you. You guys have a great day. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.